violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let's get into the video.
Adam, that is correct. Law enforcement officials say that the shooters are known gang members from Brooklyn with violent criminal histories. Police officers were right here on the block on West 38th Street when the shooting started. Police officers seen on security video making arrests after 3 people were wounded in a gang shootout.
If you guys say that the plainclothes officers don't work, then I'll call you an idiot, because it looks like this guy is in plain clothes and he was able to disrupt the shootout. Okay, if there were police patrolling the streets in plain clothes, it would be OV for these guys. I'm not against it. Okay, you give them strict instructions. Hey, stop violent crimes, stop stealing, robberies, all that kind of stuff, bro. They're gonna do it. Maybe it's too aggressive to the stop and frisk, checking people with the guns, but I don't know. I don't know, because if he noticed that there was a gun on somebody, and then they're trained to identify if it's a strap on somebody, then I don't know, bro. I think it works. Apparently it does, because they got this guy.
Seen on security video making arrests after 3 people were wounded in a gang shootout. This all happening Tuesday night around 10:30. The gunfire stemming from an altercation inside a venue rented for a rap music performance in Midtown.
Wow. So these dudes is rapping. Obviously, their music is probably going crazy. They committing all types of homicides on the track. And they get caught after beefing in a venue that they were supposed to perform at. I mean, bruh, what happened to putting the money over over the grievances?
The video shows a dark car double parked on West 38th Street. You can see 4 men who left the club walking towards another car.
And he double parked. And in Philadelphia, the cops can't even really pull people over for double parking. Okay? They can't pull people over for double parking because they got the new, those new laws that the city councilmen put in. We did a video on that, and this would be okay for them to park like this in Philly, even though if somebody's double parked, they're probably not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
For a rap music performance in Midtown. The video shows a dark car double parked on West 38th Street. You can see 4 men who left the club walking towards another car. Police say 2 people inside the dark sedan get out and shoot the other men, who fire back.
They just pulled them in the hallway. They pulled them in the hallway and told them to stay there.
Police confirm a 37-year-old man was shot in the stomach and a 20.
Look at all the people they have to inconvenience. They got to block off the whole road. Man was shot in the stomach. This is what's really going down in the streets of New York, and it's pretty frightening.
24-year-old shot in the chest. The third victim is a 19-year-old man who was found with a gunshot to his leg on East 37th Street and Madison Avenue. Police recovered 3 guns at the scene, arresting 3 men. Behind me, you can see that the investigation continues at the club that's located on the 4th floor on 38 West 38th Street. The 3 men that were shot were taken to the hospital. All are expected to recover. Reporting live from...
Wow, they're lucky, and they're probably expected to recover because the police, executed life-saving measures to not only apprehend them, but save their lives, right? But if these guys were trying to get away with a gunshot wound and the police is trying to apprehend him and, he's leaking and he ends up dying, they'll say the police killed him and be protesting in the street. It's like, bro, how can y'all not? It's just like life goes on. 3 people shot in the street. They get patched up, put them back out there. I wouldn't even... I wouldn't even say that this would stop it. Like those 3 people who were shot, man, like one of them is probably likely to pass away, not from that shooting, but a future shooting or something in the future, just because they're wrapped into whatever they got going on in New York.
From Midtown, Gabby Acevedo, News 4, New York.
So this video, guys, I definitely wanted to bring to your attention because people don't really understand how these big cities operate. And for instance, I'm using Atlanta. This sister, she says Atlanta is the devil's playground. And that has become more true today than any other time, okay? A lot of the people in big cities are on the stomping grounds of the devil's playground, like LA, obviously, New York, which we just did a story on, Atlanta. There's a lot of things going on in the streets, and in just regular everyday life. When you meet new people, like, you never know what type of people these people are, for real. Like, you never know. So y'all need to be careful in Atlanta, because it's not for play, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Besties, I really feel like anybody that's not from Atlanta, that doesn't have a serious career here or family here, and you really enjoy living in the city of Atlanta, you gotta be soulless. You can't have a soul to enjoy living in this demonic ass place. Because at first I thought that it was just me having a series of bad events in my life for continuous years living here. But being on this app has made me realize that this is just an evil ass fucking city, bro.
Yeah, and I just want to say, from my experiences in Atlanta, you know, in the stomping grounds of Atlanta, it's a lot of finessing going on. You definitely don't want to meet up with people you don't know and try and sell a you know, whatever. It doesn't even matter what it is. A lot of people are on that finesse game. They trying to get over. My homeboy, he actually got finessed a couple months back. He met some guys in the club or whatever, some dudes he thought was cool. Tried to make some new friends. They went out to eat, and he basically left all his gear in their car because he didn't have a vehicle at that time. That's why I always advise you guys, man, don't even go out and try and get drunk like that. Just make sure that you got your own whip, or you're going to take an Uber and you're going to keep your stuff on you, because he went and trusted them, left his stuff in their car. They go and eat a meal. He goes to the bathroom. He comes back. They're all gone. I think it was like 2 dudes and a girl. They're all gone. They steal his laptop that he left in their car, and he has to cover the tab of the meal. You know, so these folks will really hit you on a lick and just be ghosts. You'll never see them again.
This city just breeds demonic and evil energy, bad luck. Because I'm not the only person that's gone through a lot of bullshit in this city. And it's almost like everyone here is striving for quick success or a quick come up. And they don't care who they got to step over to get there. When I tell y'all I'm so excited to leave this city, I thought that moving to Atlanta was going to help further my career and help get me to success quicker. But now I know that it slowed me down. I can't wait to get out of here, besties.
Don't move to Atlanta, y'all.
I'm going to tag this girl in the comments, but I saw her video the other day and watched her story time about how some girl fucked her car up like this, basically over a boy. And she even said in her video, like, everyone was saying it's personal and this and that. But regardless, since she moved to Atlanta, a whole lot of bullshit had been happening to her. And then I saw this video today.
So it says, when you catch your Virgo ex cheating, dramatic ass men.
Of a girl basically saying that she caught her man cheating with a man.
Wow.
And again, like, Why is there so many down low men in Atlanta? Like, why do men feel so comfortable playing with black women in Atlanta? And y'all, I have no issue with...
I mean, y'all going out there to get lit, and y'all going out there for the vibe and all this stuff. So don't... Y'all know Atlanta is suspect, okay? Y'all know this, but y'all choose to go out there because you think you're going to find a straight man and he's going to be your everything. And that's not how it ends up turning out, bro. Because they getting turned out in Atlanta. They got a rainbow crosswalk, you know what I mean?
Bisexual or gay men. But I have every issue with you lying and cheating with the... And y'all know this happened to me. This happened to plenty of women that I know. When I tell y'all it's something on this fucking soil in the city of Atlanta, bro. I have been drugged. I have been beat up by 2 different men. I have been pulled over by 6 policemen and held at gunpoint. I have had my apartment broken into. Every single fucking day we see somebody's car getting broken into. We see somebody's car getting stolen. Like, y'all.
Yep. The carjackings are happening in Atlanta like crazy. Carjackings are happening in Atlanta like crazy now. They're up, and people haven't really been loud about it. Even though I think Tyrese's car got jacked. I think they jacked Ludacris' car. And I think they jacked somebody else's car in Atlanta. Dang, who was it? I don't know. It'll come to me. But they was jacking cars in Atlanta. They was jacking cars. And then I showed you guys that video of that man that man from Macon whose car almost got jacked. And then he held the little dude at gunpoint. And the dude got out. And he was like, yeah, just call the police on me. Because he know that he's going to be back on the streets.
Atlanta is fucking evil, bro. Stop moving here. Go to LA. Go to Houston. Go to Dallas.
No. Go to LA. Go to Houston. Go to Dallas. No, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. If you go to these places where it's supposed to be what they call lit for black people. Oh, it's lit for black people. You could really come up and... Like, all those places have high crime. Okay? I'm sorry. But just because there's an affluent black community, there's also those other people who felt like they were promised that and they didn't get that, and now they're just out here in the streets running amok.
Shit, go to Arizona, but don't come to Atlanta.
She just named a whole bunch of war zones. Every place that she named is a war zone.
Go to Arizona, but don't come.
And you know she's talking about Phoenix. She ain't talking about nowhere else. And come on.
Houston, go to Dallas.
Houston, Dallas. Mo3 was killed in what? Dallas. Okay. Like, multiple. That police shooting that I showed you. I mean, all these places that she named are like... It's not a good play. Like, you're just replacing. Yeah, I mean, you're picking your poison. How about y'all go to a town on the outskirt, somewhere that's not in the city. Like, all y'all just trying to chase. I feel like people who try to go to these big cities be chasing clout, and it's just like, you're not gonna really stand out. Not all y'all gonna stand out. Not all y'all gonna be able to go to a new city and make it big. Like, no, that's not how it works.
Shit, go to Arizona, but don't come to Atlanta. It's not what it seems. And I literally had a friend that moved here like 4 months ago, and y'all, she ready to move because she said she felt the same ass energy. I finally figured out my issues. I gotta get the fuck up out this city.
So guys, I wanted to show you this video because it's pretty much a testament to how the community thinks, bro. I found this one on World Star, and it's just Shorty. She got a bonnet. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the sisters out here is risking their lives too. Like, it's not just brothers out here on demon time, like I told you. So anyways, we're gonna get into it.
Enough with that shit. Fuck, bitch, you want to do something to my car? Now
Excuse the language.
It's the chance. It's right here. Do something to it. Why you want to sneak at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning? Do it now.
So they're pulling up on another shorty, apparently, probably over a boy. Then it escalated, and they're filming it on live.
Hey, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. That's okay. You on camera. You going to jail, ho?
So the girl starts shooting at her. She starts shooting at her. Another woman shooting at another sister. Like, come on, bro. It's getting crazy out here.
You going to jail?
But I feel like they had to know that it would have escalated, man. Like, why even instigate the situation, bro?
She going to jail.
Why she didn't come outside?
Why she ain't come outside and fight though?
And they wanted to fight. They wanted to fight. She was like, nah, forget that. I mean, she might have won self-defense, honestly. She might have. On her property, they pull up. Now they get taken out, and the girl gets off of her self-defense. It'd be another Kyle Rittenhouse in the hood. But it's a whole bunch of Kyle Rittenhouses in the hood. That's what they don't want to tell you. They're getting off just as easy as Kyle is.
We do not believe Westerman is properly punished in this case for what he did.
A former Baltimore County cop, Anthony Westerman, convicted on 2 counts of rape. Friday, Judge Keith Trufer handed down his sentence, all suspended except for 4 years of home detention. No jail time.
Which means,
Wow.
you know, this defendant who's been convicted of second-degree rape will be serving the sentence in the privacy of their own home.
So this is a situation that I wanted to bring to you guys. Definitely an injustice. Definitely a slap on the wrist. Police officer gets off with a slap on the wrist in home detention. Okay. Big news. Not getting enough coverage. But, you know, you wonder why they don't jump on certain stories. And this one is definitely a delicate one because apparently he was using his power to take advantage of females and stuff like that while he's in the uniform or whatnot, which is crazy. I mean, this dude pretty much should be locked up for his life or at least 15, 20 years, in my opinion. But the judge hands him a slap on the wrist. What people don't really understand is that, yes, his position as an officer definitely helped him. He probably had a legal team that was on point. But, and that's like more financial. And the police unions, all that kind of stuff. I don't know if they would touch something like this, but I'm sure that it definitely had an impact on the punishment that was laid down by the law. This is definitely a flaw. It's more of a bureaucratic flaw in the system. But my point is that we do stories all the time of other people getting off on similar charges. You know, brothers, sisters, similar charges. Not in home detention like that, but I mean, pretty much house arrest, ankle monitor. So that, I mean, that's pretty much in home. Dudes on, you know, on bonds of violent crimes, especially in Chicago. We see this all the time. So the reason why they gave him in-home detention too is probably because he's a police officer and a sex offender. So he would have been pretty much food in prison. He would have been food, but he deserved that. Okay, he did deserve that. But in order to conserve his life, I'm pretty sure that's what they were able to come to an agreement for.
And that certainly was not something that we were expecting or looking for.
State's Attorney Scott Schellenberger says Judge Trufer decided to throw out one of the rape convictions he handed down in August and stated there was not evidence of any psychological injury to the victim. The prosecution did not provide a...
Wow, what does that even mean? So did she say that he didn't take The what? What's going on?
Letter from the victim's psychologist.
The victim did tell everyone, and she has been in counseling ever since this incident happened. So I didn't really think there was dispute about the fact that there was psychological damage. Now, candidly, we didn't have a letter from the psychologist, but we very often don't. And there really was not a dispute that she has been, in fact, in counseling.
You can't be raped and assaulted like that without suffering terrible trauma.
Dorothy Lenig with House of Ruth was stunned by the sentence. According to court testimony, Westerman met the 22-year-old victim at a bar in 2017. She was drunk and asked for a ride home, except Westerman took her to his house where she passed out and he raped her. Both Schellenberger and Lenig worry about the lasting implications of this sentence.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. He wilding on that one.
I think this is what makes it so hard for victims, particularly of sex crimes, to come forward, because I think it feels to the victim like nothing happened to this man.
It really is the entire package that I think sends the wrong message, not only to defendants, but also to sexual assault victims.
Yeah, and they're right. They're definitely right. Like I said, my point on, him being like superfood in prison because he got the sex offender charge and the police badge or police scarlet letter, if you will, right? The blue flag. Both of those would have been a factor in him potentially being bullied, harmed, whatnot in prison. I think that's pretty much why they got him on home confinement. It doesn't make it right, honestly. Like I said, 15, 20 years. That's what I think is fair. But I mean, everybody's getting off. It's not just brothers. It's not just white folks. It's not just police officers. It's pretty much everybody.
Them seeing this sentence, they may have second thoughts about reporting their own rape case.
An attorney for Westerman sent us a statement saying, in part, Officer Westerman and his family are relieved that the judge did the right thing by not sending him to prison. We believe that the verdict was against the weight of the evidence, and he says they do plan to appeal that verdict. Meanwhile, Schellenberger says his office is looking into whether they have any legal recourse to challenge the decision the judge made. Reporting live in Towson, Kim Day, CWBAL TV 11 News.
Half a century after the assassination of Malcolm X, two men convicted in the killing of the civil rights icon are now exonerated.
The Manhattan District Attorney moving to vacate their convictions today after the two men served decades in prison. He also offered a pretty powerful apology. Mike Sachs is live outside the courtroom with more now on this stunning reversal. Mike.
Wow. So the guys who were accused of killing Malcolm X, they apparently were exonerated. After decades of what looks like they're trying to say a wrongful conviction. I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, Lauren and Steve, there's a strong sense in the courtroom of correcting the historic record, righting an historic wrong. Manhattan DA Cy Vance working with the Innocence Project and lawyers for the two men accused and convicted of killing Malcolm X in 1966, working to correct that historical record. And the judge and the families and supporters themselves breaking out into applause when justice was finally done.
The joint motion is hereby granted, and the record.
And with that, Muhammad Aziz.
So it looks like they're about to get a payday.
Aziz and Khalil Islam's convictions in the assassination of Malcolm X are no more. The 83-year-old Aziz addressing the court 55 years after his wrongful conviction.
I hope the same system that was responsible for this travesty of justice also takes responsibility for the immeasurable harm caused to me.
Khalil Islam died in 2009, but his family was in the courtroom to witness his exoneration.
It's a good thing that happened, but it's not, it doesn't replace everything that we lost.
Manhattan DA Cyrus Vance Jr. formally moving to throw out Aziz and Islam's 1966 convictions, apologizing for his office's role in the decades-long miscarriage of justice. The DA concluded the jury would have acquitted Aziz and Islam had it been aware of exculpatory evidence the FBI and NYPD deliberately failed to provide to the defense at trial.
It is clear these men did not receive a fair trial, and in our opinion, their convictions must be vacated.
Vance's office revisited Aziz and Islam's case nearly 2 years ago after Netflix.
So it looks like the FBI and the NYPD withheld evidence. So yeah, and a Netflix series got them off. Okay. Very, very crazy, man. Very crazy situation. So, yeah, I mean, that's a wrongful prosecution. We keep it a buck over here. So these dudes, I mean, obviously you can't get that time back. But hey.
Aired activist and investigative journalist Abdur Rahman Muhammad's documentary series, Who Killed Malcolm X.
It was surreal to sit there and to hear the words coming out of the judge's mouth. It absolutely took my breath away.
Muhammad's documentary and the DA's investigation highlighted the trial's conflicting eyewitness accounts, lack of physical evidence, and a third defendant's testifying to Aziz and Islam's innocence, even as he confessed his own guilt. And now, more than 3 decades after the two men were paroled.
And that's what throws me. Buddy, why are you confessing to something you didn't do? Maybe they put pressure on him. I don't know what happened. Honestly, I'm not versed in this. Who killed Malcolm X? Like, you know, I read the autobiography of Malcolm X, and, you know, that's pretty much all the digging that I've done. But I don't know, bro. It's like, dang, why you gonna cop to it, bruh?
From their life sentences. Aziz says their experiences remain relevant today.
The events that brought us to court today should never have occurred. Those events were and are the result of a process that was corrupt to its core. One that was all too familiar to black people in 2021.
Now, it's worth noting that the DA's investigation was limited only to the convictions of Aziz and Islam. It left unanswered other long-standing questions, like whether the FBI, the NYPD, the Nation of Islam leadership were involved, if at all, in Malcolm X's assassination. I'm reporting outside the Manhattan Criminal Court. Mike Sachs, Fox 5 News. Steve, Lori, back to you.
All right, Mike, thank you.
Breaking news right now, and it involves one of the daughters of the late Malcolm X, 56-year-old Malikah Shabazz, found dead tonight inside her home. This is in Midwood, Brooklyn. She was discovered, we're told, by her daughter. Now, at this point, New York cops say the death does not appear suspicious. Her death, of course, comes less than a week after 2 men convicted of killing her father back in 1965 were exonerated.
Wow, I mean, the timing is crazy, obviously.
Information in the death of Malikah Shabazz, daughter of slain civil rights activist Malcolm X. Investigators say the 56-year-old Shabazz had been suffering from illness for some time. Police Commissioner Dermot Shea making that announcement during an interview this morning. Malikah Shabazz was found dead inside her home in Midwood, Brooklyn, just before 4:30 yesterday afternoon. She was found by her daughter. Police say her death does not appear suspicious, and they are not looking for any suspects at this time. Shabazz died less than a week after 2 men convicted of killing her father in 1965 were exonerated.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
So it is what it is.